Are you and your family looking for entertainment this summer? Sooner Bowling Center in Escape Norman is your place. All You Can Bowl is back on Thursdays and Sundays from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Just $18 per person, and that includes the shoe rental. Summer camps for Sooner Bowl and Escape Sooner sign-up is taking place now. Your kids will have a great time at either of these camps. Don't forget the patio at the Spare Time Grill. Visit SoonerBowl.com for more information.
Every moment counts if you're at risk or living with lung cancer. And anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. It causes more cancer deaths than breast, colon, and prostate combined. And while there may be moments where you question your next step, through it all, Go-To for Lung Cancer is here for you. We are your community. For screening, treatment, and survivorship support, Go-To is your go-to. Confronting lung cancer starts here. Visit goto.org.
Fowler Automotive is proud to be a part of your community, where our passion and values lie far beyond the showroom. We believe that families, sports, art, and culture are at the heart of every thriving community, and it's important to us that we help build the communities that our dealerships call home. Stop by any of our 6 Oklahoma dealerships to see the Fowler standard hard at work. We pride ourselves on being friendly, helpful, honest, and fair. This is what drives us every day. Fowler Automotive, a proud partner of OU Athletics.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
Jeez, it was white flags over Texas this weekend. The Texas side is apparently officially saying, all right, yeah, we see it too. We think Michael Fusi is going to pick Oklahoma as well, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I thought it might happen for you on Saturday night or at some time Saturday afternoon. Sure enough, man, sitting there Saturday night, and there's the old future cast from Parker Thune. Got his pick in for Michael Fusi to end up at Oklahoma. Everyone of Decision Week all seems to be on one side here when it comes to Michael Fusi.
So that can only mean one thing, right?
Yeah.
A&M's throwing the bag. DJ Hicks round 2.
I mean, I'm not, it still makes everyone nervous. I don't know if I intend that to calm everyone's nerves or not, but it's a 5-star recruitment, a 5-star offensive lineman recruiting. No matter what the predictions say, 48 hours out, essentially, I can't tell you to not be nervous because we have gone down this path before, and it has ended in heartbreak before. So, but that's where that's all at. Parker's on the side now with Brandon. A lot of the Texas guys, Jordan Scruggs, Hank South, several of them have put in picks for Michael Fusi. So I wouldn't doubt for a second that A&M and Texas are still trying to effort this situation, still trying to, stay in communication with Michael Fusi. I'm just interested in if Michael Fusi has officially made his own decision and if he's let the 3 staffs know where he intends to pick on Wednesday.
Yeah, that has not happened yet to my knowledge, but the expectation is that it's going to be Oklahoma. That's everyone's expectation across the board right now. And, by the way, Wednesday also happens to be Bill Bedenbaugh's birthday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, is Michael Fusi really going to commit to Texas A&M on Bill Bedenbaugh's birthday? How cruel and unfeeling would that be?
Boy, if he picks Texas on Bill Bedenbaugh's birthday, you know how the text line has been for what, about the past year, especially during this hour.
He might have to go into witness protection.
It's gonna be Bill Bedenbaugh positivity month. Bill Bedenbaugh positivity year. And we hadn't had to have a positivity day or a positivity hour in quite some time.
Like, you think Caden Green caught flack on social media when he ditched Oklahoma for Missouri. Imagine if Fusi commits to Texas, or Texas A&M for that matter, on Bill Bedenbaugh's birthday. Again, the dude might have to go into witness protection at that point because OU fans will never let him forget it.
Tattoo Baker, I know you're listening right now because you normally are. Are we prepared to put a birthday hats and like some birthday decorations on a Bill Bedenbaugh photo and be ready to put it out on Wednesday?
Michael Fusi jumping out of the cake.
Something like that. Tattoo Baker will make it happen. No, it is. It's Bill Bedenbaugh's birthday on Wednesday with the decision, and then Michael Fusi, the 5-star offensive tackle, number 11 player according to Rivals, will celebrate his family's 5-year anniversary living in the U.S. on Wednesday with his announcement as well. So he was a young boy in Nigeria, never pictured himself playing American football, and here he is now as a 5-star. Never, at one point in his life, like, football, American football? What? No. And look at him now. He's arguably the best offensive lineman in this class.
Yeah. I tell you, man, when you're 6'6", 285 pounds, and you have a background in soccer, the transition to being an elite offensive tackle, not to diminish what Michael Fusi has done preparation-wise in order to get himself ready and to rise to the status that he occupies nationally. But, boy, it makes the transition to playing offensive tackle a lot easier when you got the combination of natural size and a background in soccer, because that's the one thing that a lot of big-time offensive tackles still lack, Tyler, is elite footwork. Footwork is generally something that you have to develop, and that's part of the reason why I've been so high on Fusi for so long and proclaimed that I think he's the best offensive tackle in this class, is because the footwork is not something you ever have to question with this guy.
Well, if next year, hopefully the kicking situation is a lot better this season, but if it's not, by the time Fusi gets on campus, would you be willing to let him bicycle kick all of the extra points with his soccer background? Just think about it.
Yeah, I'm with it. T-minus 30 seconds till we get, well, it's better than Zach Schmidt.
God, I hope that's not the case a year from now. Please let the kickers be better this year. Please let that be the case.
Also,
3 o'clock on Wednesday, though.
Unrelated news, it is a truly momentous day in the sport of football. It marks the end of an era, Tyler. The retirement of the most backup quarterback of all backup quarterbacks that have ever backup quarterbacked. The University of Texas's own Colt McCoy.
Yeah, he's on TV now. Is he doing, like, Big Ten stuff?
I guess.
Which is kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, you think of him as a Texas guy, a Big 12 guy, and I think his debut is going to be the Colorado-Nebraska game. He's going to be talking about that. Like, oh, okay.
Did ESPN fire RG3 for Colt McCoy? Is that what happened?
I don't think he's at ESPN, but it would be awesome if they
where's he
that
at?
In the next
is
few
it
days.
Fox or?
I think he's at Fox is where he's at. Is what I saw earlier today. But so he's on the coverage of Colorado. I don't think he's like actually on the game broadcast, but he's doing like pre or post game analysis for that. We'll see how good Colt is at TV.
Nobody dominates the national TV analyst desk role quite like NFL backup quarterbacks.
It's true.
Those guys absolutely own the market.
Dan Orlovsky, man, he's which he was a starter at one point until he
Dan Orlovsky
shuffled out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
one
Dan
time.
Orlovsky was never a starter. He ended up starting for the Lions, but I mean, who wasn't starting at one point for the Detroit Lions in 2008?
Before we get to the text line, am I seeing the excuse making already from the Texas side? And am I seeing the biggest excuse of all and them trying to justify this potential loss of, oh, well, yeah, but he's going to get to play immediately at Oklahoma, and that just wouldn't have been the case at Texas. I feel like I've seen that, or I saw that a few times over the weekend. Well, yeah, it kind of looks like he's going to pick Oklahoma, but come on, like, he's not good enough. I mean, we're too deep for him to play right away. At Oklahoma, they can promise him that he's their guy immediately and play right away. So, yeah. The excuse-making apparently is already happening in Austin, and I, for one, am here for it.
Would you expect anything less, Tyler?
I would not expect anything less. No, I would not. Sam in Edmond says NBC Big Ten games is what he's doing. All right.
NBC's doing Big Ten games? Gosh, I've got so much catching up to do on the landscape of television in college football because I know the SEC on CBS has come to an end, tragically. It's a part of my
Just wanted to hear that CBS college football intro. Would have been great. Not to be the case, unfortunately.
It's a tragic development. But I had no idea the NBC was doing Big Ten games. That is news to me. I was today years old.
Guy from Parts Unknown says, been out for a week. Glad to hear things look promising. So if things go to plan, what about the other kid? By other kid, do you mean Andrew Babalola? Is that what you mean by him, Guy?
I firmly believe that if Michael Fusi picks Oklahoma, Andrew Babalola will be headed to the University of Michigan.
Yeah, I think Michigan is really rooting for all these predictions over the weekend to come true, and he picks OU. I think Sharon Moore and company would really like that up in Ann Arbor. Going to benefit them pretty heavily.
Yeah, because look, if you get Fusi, you're not getting Babalola. You can't get Babalola at that point. You've already landed your big-time left tackle. Babalola's not going to want to go where there's already an elite left tackle committed in the class, so he's going to go to Michigan or he's going to go to Stanford.
You in the mood for a hot take?
Sure,
not by me,
all means.
Someone else. Sooner, Shane, and Springfield. It's a pretty hot take. Mark my words, the O-line this year will be a strength of our team. In Bill, I trust. I think most people would consider that a pretty hot take. I think there's some fans out there that just says, hey, I'll just take it. They don't suck this year. But Sooner Shane's bringing the positivity and saying it's going to be a strength of the team. And I think there's a lot of strengths of the team the way that it sits now, so that'd be something if the offensive line is that.
If I'm being brutally honest, if this defense is as good as they have the potential to be, if they're as good as I expect them to be, the offensive line isn't going to need to be a strength in order for Oklahoma to compete for an SEC title and a college football playoff spot. If the offensive line is a legitimate strength, Tyler, boy, who does this team lose to at that point?
You really got something if that's the case.
If you have an elite offensive line or even a solidly above average, an upper echelon offensive line, if you have an upper echelon offensive line and you have an upper echelon defense, you're going to win a lot of football games.
731 from the state of Tennessee, from your lips to God's ears, is Sooner Shane. Nice. Glenn from Nashville, do we have a backup plan at linebacker if we don't get the kid from Nebraska, or we would just stand pat until next year?
Yeah, at this point, I would think, and Brent Venables has demonstrated, i.e. with Taylor Heim, that he is not completely opposed to making a late eval or two at the linebacker spot. Isaiah Simmons back at Clemson was another guy that was random 3-star from Kansas that Brent Venables didn't recruit till his senior year of high school. And lo and behold, he ends up a top 10 pick in the NFL draft after his career at Clemson is over. So it's not something Venables is averse to, but there's also the very real chance that Oklahoma does stand pat and they elect to grab another I almost said offensive lineman. I need to shift my brain from one conversation to the other. But that they elect to grab another linebacker via the transfer portal. By the way, I don't know if this slipped by you. It's understandable if it did. Do you see where Connor Neer landed?
That did slip by me. Thank you for excusing that I did not see where Connor Neer has landed. No.
He went right back to Ferris State.
Hey, all right, sweets. Please do not pull up the old tape of us being like, well, I don't know. I know Connor Neer, the level that he's at, but maybe he can provide some really good depth. Don't be surprised if this guy can provide some really good depth. I'm sure we said that over a year ago at some point.
He looked great on the kickoff return team.
Yeah. Good text here by Sam and Edmond, praying for the Miss Parker. She is a real hero. And, I saw your post yesterday, so hoping for the best for you and your wife.
As am I.
Both families.
As am I, yes.
Sam and Edmond also says, in another hot take, Bill Bedenbaugh will flip Lamont Rogers, and Bill Bedenbaugh will have him, Fusi, and Foger in this class.
Yeah, well, look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but for much the same reason that you're not getting Babalola if you get Fusi, you're not getting Lamont Rogers if you get Fusi.
Oh, you may not get Lamont Rogers? Mizzou currently has his commitments. I guess there's a little scuttlebutt out there that A&M's like, maybe let's try and work on this situation a little bit before we get to signing day.
And look, if Lamont Rogers has adequate reason to flip from Missouri, he's going to flip from Missouri because we all saw Mom's reaction, right?
Wasn't happy.
We all kind of knew what Mom thought about him being that far from home, and that was kind of confirmed by her reaction when he did commit to Mizzou.
She was like, Crocs and cargo shorts, really? That's
if
what we're picking?
A&M gives him enough reasons to flip from Missouri, the kid's going to flip to Missouri. Again, if Fusi is a Sooner, Babalola's not coming to OU, Lamont Rogers is coming to OU, probably just need to kill that where it stands. But there is a very solid chance that Lamont Rogers does not end up signing with the University of Missouri in favor of a school like A&M or Texas.
By the way, the Refs 12 Days of Football does continue today, and if you haven't signed up already, registered already, guys, it's really easy. Go to kref.com. There's going to be a pop-up that shows up in the middle of the page. Give us your information. You must be 18 years or older to register. Winners will be drawn daily during the rush, so right around the 5 o'clock, or at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, we'll get to those winners. Gave one out on Friday. We'll do one again today. Today's winner gets a $50 gift certificate to Pepe Delgado's. Pretty good. All you got to do is basically put in your information. We'll draw a winner every single day. We'll do that today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. So give us your information. You'll have an opportunity to win some great prizes, and we'll get to another winner coming up at 5 o'clock today. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. A lot more recruiting to get to, a lot more training camp scuttlebutt. We'll do it next right here on The Ref.
Crafted for SEC competition. Every OU fan should own a piece of Sooner Magic. Made in America, like it should be. Get your official on-field OU football today.
755-7700 or visit alcok.com today. Experience the difference with Dr. B and see the world like never before.
The Showplace Theater at Riverwind is your best bet.
And with some of the best acts around, like Goo Goo Dolls, September 5th. Penn and Teller, September 6th. Cole Swindell, September 20th.
But I'll drink to a country song.
And Jamie Johnson, September 26th.
You should have sang it in cover.
Riverwind, the Metro's best casino experience.
Would you like to play a more active role in your health? At Hightower Clinical, we believe all Oklahomans should have access to new potential treatment options through clinical trial participation. Our team wants to support you with the best care possible through clinical trials. No health insurance is required. Compensation is available for eligible study participants, and study care is provided at no cost.
Having the chance to go through a trial and find out if something works for them and makes their life easier, I would recommend them do it.
To learn more, scan this QR code and visit our website.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi Norman, it's DJ Newsom with Alliance Bank, your community-driven, friendly neighborhood bank. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, lead a nonprofit organization, or just someone seeking a better banking experience, we've got you covered. From business to personal banking, we tailor our services to suit everyone's needs. We believe in making banking easy and enjoyable. Visit our Norman location or call us today at 405-286-5750. Alliance Bank, banking tailored to your needs. Member FDIC.
Landmark Fine Homes is a custom home builder in Oklahoma City. Our commitment is to build energy-efficient, custom-quality crafted homes around the metro OKC area. If you're looking to build your first home or last, Landmark Fine Homes is the builder for you. We have many floor plans to choose from, or bring us one that you already have. We have communities throughout the metro, or we will build on your lot. Call 405-347-5991 and let Landmark Fine Homes help turn your dreams into a reality.
Nothing's like celebrating than great savings on a new 2024 GMC. Dorsey Jones in El Reno has rock bottom prices just for you to drive away in your new GMC. Take up to $11,000 off MSRP on new 2024 GMC Sierra 1500s. Now is the time to celebrate. Drive the best just 15 minutes west. Dorsey Jones Buick GMC I-40 and Highway 81 exit 125 in El Reno, or Dorsey-Jones-BuickGMC.com. We are professional grade GMC. See dealer for details.
Hey Sooner fans, Kinsey Hansen here to tell you about my friends at the Affordable Door Company. Their fast, reliable, and professional staff have been serving the OKC Metro for over 28 years. Affordable Door Company is your one-stop shop for residential and commercial garage door service and replacement. Call them and tell them you want the ultimate maintenance for your garage door. You don't want to be stuck in your garage at game time, so give them a call at 405-635-9499 or visit them online at affordabledoor.net. You can't afford not to call Affordable Door Company, proud garage door sponsor of the Sooners.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the ref. We are the home of Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune, and I got me a game ball, the official game ball for OU football this year. And if you're watching us live on KREF Sports on our YouTube page, you can see the game ball that I'm holding here. It's pretty sweet. You can get yours online, BigGameUSA.com. That's BigGameUSA.com. Be a pretty cool gift for an OU fan out there. Got the OU logo, the SEC logo out there. Pretty cool. Big Game USA. Go check that out. Okay, so was watching a video on Rivals today, and it was one of those making the case videos. And they go with Christian Jones, top 100 player, linebacker out of Omaha, Nebraska. And just to kind of quickly sum up the 4-minute video of what it was, OU apparently, like their biggest strengths in the Christian Jones recruitment, 4-star linebacker, culture in Norman. Apparently Christian Jones is a big fan of that, along with the Soul Mission. And the fact that the head coach here used to be a linebackers coach, has been a linebackers coach, and has done so at a very, very high level. So those are the strengths for OU there.
Here's another strength. And I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. It's just kind of a thing. Christian Jones is a little bit of a different breed of cat.
Good.
And so is Zach Alley. And so those two have really, really meshed since Alley got to Oklahoma and started recruiting.
Christian Jones got a screw loose or two? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not in that
That's
sense,
what I was
but
hoping for a linebacker.
No, just he's got a type of personality that is rather akin to Alley's. It's easy to see if you ever encounter Christian Jones, have a conversation with Christian Jones. It's pretty easy to see why he would warm to a guy like Zach Alley.
Nebraska's strengths, exactly what you would think. Proximity and the direction of the program. Well, the direction of the program that he's being told is about to happen.
Well,
because
exactly.
It's been the same direction for the past, a long time. It's been crap.
Yeah, what is the direction? They're stuck in neutral and have been for a long, long, long time. If you're telling me that the direction is up after a 5-7 season, my response would be, well, wasn't the direction up in 2017 and in 2020 and in 2022? And when do we actually see it materialize into wins for Nebraska? Because as of right now, Tyler, today, at this exact precise moment in time and history, there is not a singular program in the entire Power Four that has a longer bowl drought than the University of Nebraska.
It's crazy to say, but it's true. And they got to 5 wins last year, and you remember the story that almost said Scott Frost that Matt Rule told, because they got to their 5th win with 2 or 3 games left in the regular season.
Yep.
And Matt Rule was telling the story about the Nebraska fan as they were walking off the field after their 5th win. Please, Coach, just get one more. Just get one more win, please. And Matt Rule was like, I don't want to win just one more game. I want to win all of the games. Well, they didn't win any of the games here. The point is that, yes, they have the longest bowlless streak of anyone out there in the P4, but it's not like they been at 5 wins every single year and have had terrible luck. No, and a lot of those seasons they've had like 4 wins in there. They've been a couple of wins away from bowl eligibility. So, people like Gunny and others like to give you grief when you're wearing your UTEP shirt in studio. Now that we're on the YouTube live stream, might be a lot of people wearing the wearing the UTEP T-shirt week 1 when Nebraska plays them. Who knows?
It'll be a fun game. I'm going to it. I'm going to be there.
You're going to UTEP, Nebraska?
Yeah.
Is that the day after OU Temple? Yeah.
It is the day after OU
Why are you going to Lincoln for that?
Because why not? I mean, Nebraska's home. It's an excuse to go see my family.
What's going
get
on
to go
here?
watch my guys out at UTEP and get to catch a game at one of the great places to do so in college football, Memorial Stadium.
And eat one of those disgusting runzas that they have at the stadium. Overrated runzas, if you ask me, at the stadium. That kind of looked like a nod in agreement a little bit.
The store-bought, like the runzas from Runza, the restaurant, they are decidedly, and I can use this term because I'm young, mid. They are mid.
Yeah, was not impressed. Nationally, and who was it? One-star recruiting boomer did point out, Texas losing that defensive back to LSU scares me, with Fusi getting a gigantic bag thrown at him. Yeah, Texas had a defensive back, Cade Phillips, flip from Texas to LSU. Does that mean that they are going to throw a larger bag at Michael Fusi than they would before? I think that they were always going to throw out a big-time offer to Michael Fusi. Very important, regardless of what they say or how quickly he would have played. Like, Texas really needs a left tackle like Michael Fusi in this class, as does OU, as does Texas A&M. So Texas' offer was always going to be very strong, but not the momentum that they're looking for, losing a player like Cade Phillips to LSU.
No, not at all. Not good news for Texas because their recruiting class is already a very, well, and to use the term once again, a very mid-class so far. You lose a guy like Cade Phillips, who, at least according to one service, is a top 100 player in the country. Yeah, that one stings. Now, you lost him to LSU, so it's not like he flipped to Tech or something like that. You lost him to one of the powerhouse programs in college football, not a blue blood, but a program that has a very strong tradition of winning in the 21st century. But the plot thickens and the predicament only multiplies for Texas because they got to get some momentum here on the trail, and they got to get it soon.
Jeez, how about you want to talk about momentum? Josh Heupel at Tennessee's got some momentum right now, does he not? He's got the number 1 player in the 2026 class, and now he gets David Sanders to Tennessee. Top 10 player nationally, right there. I mean, I think he's ranked above Michael Fusi, correct?
Yeah.
David Sanders, a really good player. That's a heck of a get for Tennessee, man.
Yeah, hype be crutin', Tyler. Hype do be crutin'. They're on a run.
They're on a run,
tear.
man. They have they have and they've had a very solid collective out there at Tennessee, and that collective continues to go to work out there. So Josh Heupel, man, setting himself up here for a decent little run there in Knoxville. Brett McMurphy, who bothered me to get him a Shinerbach at SEC Media Day.
You're going to tell that story for a long time, aren't you?
Well, I mean, anytime he's got a bowl projection or something that I wanted to bring up anyway, I'll at least probably mention it.
He will henceforth be referred to as Brett McMurphy, who bothered Tyler for a Shinerbach at SEC Media.
At an open bar where I mean, no one even had to pay for it. Still an interesting ordeal. Anyway, he has his bowl projections out, which, by the way, he has OU and Kansas in the Texas Bowl. Boy, what an exciting New Year's Eve that would be for all of us if OU and KU were playing in Houston. But he has one Texas team in the college football playoff. I'll give you 3 guesses who it is.
One Texas team in the college football playoff.
One Texas team in the college football playoff.
Okay, so it's not going to be the obvious answer. I'm going to guess SMU.
Not SMU.
Okay, not SMU. Would it be Texas A&M?
Not Texas A&M.
Okay. The answer is not staring me in the face. It's not. I refuse to believe that it is. Is it Texas Tech?
Texas State is who he has in the college football playoff.
You're joking.
As I guess, I mean, it has to be the highest ranked non-Power 4 champ.
You're joking.
He has him as like the 12th seed going to Ohio State in the first round. Texas State at Ohio State. Would you watch? I don't know if I would.
Are you sure he wasn't like running a dynasty on EA Sports College Football 25 and had one too many Shiner box and conflated that with real world happenings?
I mean, no Texas. You know, it's like the first college football playoff projection I've seen this offseason. It's like, no, Texas, they're not going to make it. Texas State, the 12th seed out of the Sun Belt, will be playing at the Shoe at Ohio State in the first round.
So that means they're going undefeated, right? That's the only reason a Sun Belt team is ranked high enough to claim that honor. Like, they have to go undefeated.
He also has Ohio State as a 26.5-point favorite over Texas State in that first round game. I'll take Ohio State minus 26.5, please.
Yes, crush the over on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, but that's the only team from the state of Texas he has, and he has OU and KU playing in the Texas Bowl with OU as a 4.5-point favorite. How about it? Texas playing Nebraska in the Citrus Bowl. Texas a 26.5-point favorite over the Huskers. That's pretty aggressive, I feel like. Yeah. So still, I still don't know if I've seen a 12-team playoff, though, predicting OU in it.
Here's the thing. I don't know if Nebraska would beat Texas. It would not be a 26-point game, though, because Nebraska would just muck that game up.
And Texas would also have a ton of guys that probably opted out of the Citrus Bowl, correct? I mean, that's how bowl games work these days.
Yes, Nebraska would make that the ugliest football game you've ever seen, and Texas would still probably win, but it would be like a 17-13 game.
Yeah. 731 from the state of Tennessee. Living in Knoxville, their NIL is no joke.
Are you receiving some of it?
Maybe.
Is that how you know that?
Sounds like there's enough to go around out there.
Or are you contributing?
It's been very strong for a while. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We've got quarterback battles taking shape across college football. We've got an OU freshman picked to a freshman All-American team. We'll tell you who that is. A lot more recruiting, a lot more OU football next right here on The Ref.
What's up? Sooner fans, show your Sooner pride. Crafted for SEC competition. Every OU fan should own a piece of Sooner Magic. Made in America, like it should be. Get your official on-field OU football today.
80-5587 or 745-2968. They are the experts.
The Gimme Zone is back in 2024. Join Golf Digest panelist Brian Vineyard and myself, Josh Elmer, every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. as we break down and dissect everything in the world of golf right here on the Ref and the KREF app. Hear from great guests and from the game's biggest stars as we spend every moving day with you. From February at Pebble Beach through the majors to the Tour Championship in September, the #1 choice for golf coverage in the state of Oklahoma, it's right here on the Ref.
Are you looking for a luxury apartment for rent in Norman? The Falls at Brookhaven offers stunning 2- and 3-bedroom spacious floor plans with large walk-in closets, washer and dryer hookup, and a fabulous kitchen in a well-maintained, calm environment. From plush carpet to sleek stainless steel appliances to a pool, 24-hour fitness, and 2 dog parks, the Falls at Brookhaven has it all. Call our locally owned and operated community at 405-701-8233 or go online to thefallsatbrookhaven.com for a free tour and see what living in luxury is like.
Does your business have data cabling or design needs, but you're not sure who to call? Wade Electric has been a trusted telecommunications installer in the Oklahoma City area for over 30 years. They are Bixby certified to install category and fiber optic cable, provide digital testing reports, and have an RCDD on staff. Call Wade Electric at 405-329-1940 today to find out how they can help you design and install the ideal data infrastructure system.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. Growing up in Oklahoma, I had big dreams of becoming a successful country music singer. But I also knew the odds were against me and that I needed an education to fall back on. Studying never got in the way of my dreams. In fact, school gave me lots of opportunities I wouldn't have had otherwise with my career. Please stay in school and try your best. You never know where a good education might take you. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman at 405-310-3189 and let us prepare your party and celebration needs. As the official KREF tailgate sponsor, get your Chick-fil-A nugget, sandwich, or mac and cheese trays. It would be our pleasure to serve you, whether dining in, carrying out, catering, or delivering delightfulness to your front door. Boxed meals to nugget trays to gallons of lemonade and tea, we have plenty to offer for your next party or summer events. The 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A. Call 405-310-3189 and remember, eat more chicken.
As we wonder why our kids are struggling, someone is getting bullied. As we discuss how to improve their mental health, someone is being harassed on social media. As we wonder why they're skipping school, someone is crying themselves to sleep. Knowing the signs is the best way to prevent bullying.
Please just leave me alone.
Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
Mike Steele here for Lasher Home Comfort Systems, your trusted home comfort experts in the Oklahoma City metro area. Tim Lasher and his team have more than 130 years of combined experience. They recognize a significant number of homeowners live with inadequate home comfort systems. They specialize in diagnosing your home system issues while providing more efficiency and reducing your utility costs. As an authorized dealer of American Standard, Tim can service your residence or business. Call Tim and his team at 405-579-3113. Lasher Home Comfort Systems.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the Ref. We are the home of Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune, and the Ref Army listening worldwide via the free KREF app. Just search KREF in the App Store. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is tuned in today. Jupiter, Florida. Cody, Wyoming. Sacramento, California. Savage, Minnesota. Lincoln, Nebraska. Comanche, Oklahoma. All tuned in today via the free KREF app, and the Ref Army Locator is brought to you by Affordable Door Company, where they compromise on the price but not on the quality. Visit them online at affordabledoor.net. That's affordabledoor.net, or call 405-635-9499. Proud garage door sponsor of the Sooners and the Ref Affordable Door Company.
Comanche's a nice little Oklahoma town. I've been through there a time or two.
Really? Going around the Duncan area or what?
Yeah, generally either going down to Duncan/Lawton or going down to Wichita Falls as well.
Only former Sooner I can think of from Comanche, Oklahoma, and this doesn't give people probably gives a lot of people flashbacks to that 08 OU Texas game, but Brandon Crow was from Comanche, Oklahoma.
Was he really?
He indeed was. Indeed was. Jaden Jackson has been named a freshman All-American. If we were to all sit around here today and project the one player or the player that's most likely to be freshman All-American at the end of the season, would it be Jaden Jackson? I mean, it feels pretty clear to me that he's going to have a role on this defensive line. Not that David Stone won't, but does it feel like Jaden Jackson, at least immediately early on, is going to get more reps than David Stone is?
Yeah,
kind of feels that way.
And I think Jaden Jackson is certainly the safe answer because he's kind of the one freshman that okay, he's got a major role from the jump, regardless of what happens elsewhere. Like Jaden Jackson, you can count on seeing a ton of Jaden Jackson from the get-go, and he's going to be a consistent member of that defensive line rotation. There's a case for some other – like Eli Bowen is a guy that I just get higher and higher and higher.
I got a lot of wild cards on the list, and Eli Bowen is one of those. It's like I think he'll be fine if he's out there, but how often is he going to be out there with the talent that's in front of him?
Exactly.
And there's a lot of guys that kind of fit that same like Michael Boganowski. Could Boganowski be okay from year one? Sounds like he's pretty good, but how much playing time is he really going to get with some really, really good players in front of him?
Yeah, if JFA were to sprain an elbow or something and miss a few weeks, Michael Hawkins, I think, is a good enough football player that he could put himself in that conversation. But again, that requires him to be starting for quite a while, and I just don't know. Like, you obviously can't count on that, nor can you count on Eli Bowen finding his way into the regular rotation, nor can you count on Michael Boganowski finding his way into the regular rotation. I think both those guys will. I believe that will happen. But the one guy that for which I guess that hypothetical doesn't even really exist is Jaden Jackson. Like, Jaden Jackson is in the rotation.
Some other wild cards I had, we mentioned Eli Bowen, mentioned Michael Hawkins, mentioned Michael Boganowski. Danny Okoye apparently has shown some real flashes in training camp. Again, he's another guy. Like, how much is he really going to get to play this year? But if he has some of those loud, high-level plays at times, maybe you can throw him into the discussion. And then Taylor Tatum. Like, I would think right now that Barnes and Sawchuk are your 1-2 at running back. And then maybe a guy like Caleb Hicks behind those two at 3. But is Taylor Tatum going to get some opportunities this year? I think Taylor Tatum will get some opportunities this year. He's got a ways to go, but you're the number 1 running back coming in a spot that's, they're really looking for 1 or 2 players to look like they're a dude at that spot. So I'd throw in at least Taylor Tatum in the conversation at this point, along with the others.
Now, Greg in Muskogee asks, so is Stone overrated or was Jackson underrated? Greg in Muskogee, and I think it's a fair question. I also think it's fair to say that that question might not even hold water. Because what recruiting rankings try to do is they're not trying to measure immediate impact as a true freshman. What they're trying to do is project to NFL draft stock. And I don't think hardly anyone would question, even now, knowing what we know about Jaden Jackson and what he's done on the field throughout fall camp, I don't think anyone would question that David Stone's ultimate NFL draft ceiling is much higher than that of Jaden Jackson's. So, yes, there is a case that Jaden Jackson may have been a little bit underrated, and it was something that we said at signing day, too. It was something that a lot of people said after watching his senior tape. Hey, this guy looks like he's probably better than most everybody realizes right now. But I would caution against believing that fall camp buzz in and of itself, and even spring camp buzz going back to March and April, is conclusive proof that one guy was underrated and one guy was overrated. Because ultimately, where recruiting rankings are judged is the impact that these guys make over the course of their entire collegiate careers, not just one season, as well as where they ultimately end up drafted when their respective draft day comes, whenever that may be.
Derek says, are nose guards just not as highly vaunted in recruiting circles, or was he undervalued?
Yes, and that also compounds it, is that when you are a zero tech and everybody kind of understands, okay, zero tech is your lane, you could play a 3, but zero is what you most naturally are based on your physique and body type. Guys like that aren't going to climb as high in the recruiting rankings because how many nose tackles do you see drafted in the first round, Tyler? So it's not to say they aren't valuable players. It's not to say they aren't going to be really, really good at the collegiate level. But again, what the recruiting rankings are primarily about, and I'm relaying this secondhand because obviously I have a little bit of sway in the process, but I don't make the rankings, and ultimately the people that do are more than able and oftentimes more than willing to ignore feedback from people like me. Those people are trying to project to the NFL draft, not project to what a collegiate career looks like. And more often than not, you're not going to see a nose tackle drafted in the first round or even the second round.
I don't take Jaden Jackson as a freshman All-American and David Stone not on a list like that. Or, hey, Jaden Jackson might actually play more as a true freshman than David Stone. I don't look at that as a bad thing or even a negative thing for David Stone. Or as, well, was Stone just not as good as we thought? I think Stone is as good as we thought. And you talked about the ceiling, and that's the exact direction I would go. The ceiling is still absolutely there for him to be a big-time player. Honestly, like, that whole situation probably gets me more excited than anything, because when we initially saw that you're bringing in these two guys from IMG, I think the hope was, well, maybe you have your next two dominant interior defensive linemen coming in together. You haven't had that in a long time, right? You think of Tommy and Dusty is kind of that duo. Maybe that's the next Tommy and Dusty right here, the next duo on the inside. Jaden Jackson's apparently ready to play right now, and I think David Stone will play this year as well. More than anything, it's Jaden Jackson maybe has exceeded expectations early on. David Stone is, maybe right on track for that. So the promise or the hope that we had that these are your next two great interior defensive linemen, I think is on a pretty good pace for that being the case. And we'll see what both do this year. But I think in a year's time, Parker, we will be talking about Jaden Jackson and David Stone as potentially like the strength of the defensive line.
Yeah,
I think that it's that sophomore year for both those guys where, hey, you might project both of those guys as starters, big impact players. Like, let's go.
And do you remember the conversation surrounding Gavin Sawchuk and Javonte Barnes in 2022? This, in my mind, is akin to this conversation surrounding David Stone and Jaden Jackson. My thought, and I'm sure I was not the only one, but I remember verbalizing this take. My belief was that Javonte Barnes was undeniably more college-ready in an immediate sense than Gavin Sawchuk, and you saw that as a true freshman. Barnes played a lot, Sawchuk did not. But that in the long run, the tools that Sawchuk had, the tools that Sawchuk offered, made his ceiling much, much higher if he realized it, and I think we've already seen that he is well on his way to realizing that ceiling. And so, similarly, I think it is fair to say that Jaden Jackson is more ready to contribute to this team right now in 2024, but that should not dispel the notion that over the course of a 3-4 year collegiate career, David Stone is capable of being far more of a force on the interior than Jaden Jackson, just because he does have some physical gifts that Jackson does not possess. He's 6'4", he's made of muscle, and so there are things that he's going to be able to do if he develops on schedule as a college football player that are going to validate in everybody's minds that, okay, this guy was indeed a 5-star.
And Jaden Jackson, he did take a handful of candy from our candy jar that we had back earlier in the year, which was pretty odd. He rode a scooter over here from the facility, and then he said, "Hey, can I have some candy?" "Yes, sir." Got a giant handful right there. So we contributed.
He's about his calories.
We've contributed. Just saying. Chonky Chuck says, "Guys, I'm at my first day of school, and I've already seen Taylor Tatum. Homeboy is Schmitty built." So Chonky Chuck is on the lookout for what OU's got in the roster. 11 days out, guys. 11 days out from kickoff. Cannot wait. All right, we'll get back into Michael Fusi coming up next. And, yeah, we'll probably make fun of Muleshoe a little bit as well. We'll do it right here on the Ref.
Sooner fans, show your Sooner pride. Crafted for SEC competition. Every OU fan should own a piece of Sooner magic. Made in America, like it should be. Get your official on-field OU football today.
On your home for Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network.
There's strength in family and there's strength in partnership. At Armstrong Bank, we believe in building financial stability and enduring relationships. As a family-owned community bank since 1909, we'll always be here to support you because we know that true strength is in our communities. Armstrong Bank, strength runs in our family. Visit armstrong.bank, member FDIC.
Hey Jeff, have I told you about the nightmare Jessica had at that big city dealership?
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
It was like something out of a bad movie.
Really? What happened?
Well, she found this amazing deal on a Blazer online at one of those dealerships.
Oh yeah, flashy with all the promises.
Mm-hmm, exactly. She was so excited, but when she got there, they hit her with the old bait and switch.
I've been hearing that a bunch lately.
They told her the car she wanted wasn't there, but guess what? It was. They just wanted to sell it for more than the online price. Then they tried to push a completely different vehicle.
Well, tell her to just come out here and see us at Knippelmeyer.
That's what I told her. She said she would, and she wouldn't go anywhere else from now on.
At Knippelmeyer, we don't play games. Our prices are up front, no gimmicks, just good honest deals like we've done for over 60 years. So don't make the same mistake Jessica did. For your next vehicle, come see us in Blanchard, give us a call at 405-485-3333, or check us out on the web at knippelmeyer.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They
It pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brian McPherson.
Do you like to stand out in a crowd while wearing the best in OU apparel? The Jimmy Austin Pro Shop carries the best brands you can wear to work or even dress up events. Lines such as Lululemon, Travis Mathew, FootJoy, Greg Norman, Grayson, or Turtleson with the OU and Jimmy Austin logo are sure to catch everyone's eye. You don't have to be a golfer to shop at Jimmy Austin. They also do corporate special orders for you and your company. Call them today, 405-325-6716, or visit theougolfclub.com for more information.
Visit Norman encourages you to shop local in Norman this summer. Visit Cayman's on Main Street, your one-stop shopping for men's and women's clothing, accessories, designer jewelry, cosmetics, and home decor. Featuring Peter Millar, Johnny O, Rag & Bone, John Hardy, and much more at Cayman's. For fresh, delicious Italian dining, visit Gabarino's Homestyle Italian. For lunch, dinner, or takeaway, you are guaranteed to get amazing meals from scratch family recipes at Gabarino's. Hit the driving range or play around at the Westwood Golf Course. It's easy to book a tee time online, pick up a bucket of balls, or enjoy the delicious Turn Grill at Westwood Golf Course. When you shop local, you are supporting businesses that give back to community events, schools, sports, and local nonprofits. However you enjoy summer in Norman, remember to eat, shop, and play local.
Auto Image USA, Central Oklahoma, and Norman's home for the best in car, boat, and RV detailing. Let Mike Miller and his gang help you out with one of their many services, plus roll and lock truck covers, window tinting, custom wheels and rims detailing, and paint correction. Auto Image USA also carries the best brands in audio such as Kicker, Wet Sound, Pioneer, and Sony. Call Auto Image USA at 405-321-4444 or go by and see one of their experts at 2701 Northwest 36th Avenue in Norman between Rock Creek and Tecumseh.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Dorsey Jones Buick GMC in El Reno bringing this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones is family owned and operated, established in 2020, but many of their employees have been there for more than 20 years. They pride themselves on having the best service technicians and friendly service advisors that put your needs first. They also have half-price oil changes on Saturdays. Check them out in El Reno, Dorsey Jones Buick GMC. Michael Fusi will be announcing on Wednesday, OU, Texas A&M. Look to be the main three. Rival says this about the five-star number 11 player overall in the 2025 class. It says, Oklahoma is now trending heavily for the five-star offensive tackle from Louisville, but the Longhorns are definitely not giving up, and A&M has ramped up their interest even more in the closing days here. The Sooners seem like they have a healthy lead to land Fusi's recruitment, but the Aggies are definitely trying to give the five-star something to consider down the stretch.
Ramped up their interest is such an interesting choice of words.
Given the situation, very much so. Like, they just now realized how much they wanted Michael Fusi.
Like, five-star offensive tackle from up in DFW. Do we want him? Do we not? Oh, it's a week till decision day. Let's go full throttle.
Say, Coach, should we ramp up our efforts on the five-star up the road? Why, yes, we should. So who should OU be more concerned about? Like, literally 48 hours out. A&M or Texas?
A&M.
Kind of starting to feel that way.
Yeah.
Not that you're hearing any A&M buzz. Like, you're not necessarily hearing a lot of A&M buzz right now, but given the two, yeah.
Well, and ramped up their interest is probably not the best choice of words. Lost City Sooner translated for us. The Aggies put more bread in the bag. Yes, that is an accurate depiction of what is going on here in the final days of the Fusi recruitment. Now, again, from where I stand, and I know everybody across the nation in my industry kind of shares this opinion at this point, it doesn't seem like there's anything that's going to dissuade Fusi from picking Oklahoma.
Well, I just love that Travis Davidson on the YouTube chat right now is just putting, oh, buddy, just all the best vibes out there. Says, I'm back on Wednesdays this week, the same day as the Fusi commitment. What could go wrong? And he just had to put the hashtag out there, hashtag David Hicks Day. I got sick during that break reading the hashtag David Hicks Day.
So we're not going to be labeling Wednesday Michael Fusi Day yet.
I'm not going down. I've learned my lesson. That is not happening again. I don't care what we might know or I might know. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not doing that to anybody else out there either. How about Malachi Nelson? Not even going to be the starting quarterback at Boise to start the season. I did find it hilarious, entertaining, that Malachi Nelson goes to Boise, doesn't win the starting quarterback job, and all it was yesterday was OU fans just destroying Muleshoe on the internet. That was a good Sunday. Thank you guys for that.
I mean, OU fans will take any excuse to destroy Muleshoe on the internet. That's just kind of how it goes. And that was definitely an opportunity because Maddox Madsen, who won the job over Malachi Nelson, I did some research on Maddox Madsen. He is a redshirt sophomore, so he is 1 year older than Malachi Nelson. He was a 2-star recruit out of high school whose only other offer was the University of New Mexico.
Oh, that hurts. The former 5-star gets beat out by the former 2-star. And then people were dunking on Muleshoe this weekend because I guess a USC reporter put out, "Hello from the Coliseum. USC will be holding a closed-door scrimmage this morning. Per USC rules, media is allowed to watch the scrimmage but not report on it." What the hell's the point of that? Yeah, you guys, you can come to practice, but you can't say anything about it. Okay.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind if we had that at Oklahoma.
But it's annoying, though.
No. It's weird and it's annoying, but I would rather go to practice and have a gag order about what I saw than get to watch 20 minutes of them stretching and doing individual.
Well, or how about just allow you to come to practice and hey guys, just report whatever. I mean, it's not going to totally change our season if the media gets to come to one scrimmage where we're probably holding a lot of guys out right now. Whatever.
Cherokee Sooner says, making fun of Muleshoe is my love language. A 405 listener says, Nelson is closer than most think.
Yeah, how many of those are we going to get this year? Whoa, I mean, we're a lot closer than you guys think. I think we could get one after week 1 when LSU houses them in Vegas. That's going to be fun. Can't wait for that game. By the way, Sam and Edmond is our text of the day. You know why Sam and Edmond is our text of the day?
Why is he our text of the day?
Because he sent out nice thoughts and prayers to you and your family.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very nice by Sam and Edmond. So he gets a star next to his name. Text of the day brought to you by the Hilton Garden Inn, OKC Bricktown, where you just mentioned K-Ref. Tell them you're a member of the Ref Army. You can get 18% off of your stay at the Hilton Garden Inn, OKC Bricktown. And if you go to kref.com, there's a direct link to their website as well. Could come in handy for football season. I don't know how many of you are going to be in town in 11 days for OU and Temple, but if you're out of the area, out of states, check out the Hilton Garden Inn, OKC Bricktown there in OKC. Really, really cool spots. All right, 48 hours away from the big announcement. It will either give OU an incredible amount of momentum, especially on the recruiting trail going into game 1, or Wednesday's going to be the worst day of my life and the worst 3 hours of radio. I guess we'll find out. That's the fun of this, right? Talking about a kid's recruitment for 18 months, and God, Wednesday is either going to be the best day or the absolute worst day. Cannot wait. 48 hours away from announcement time for Michael Fusi. The Rush is coming up next. Keep it locked on the Ref.